What is up, everyone? Hope you're well. If you've ever run loops live before, you've probably been in the situation where you had to cut the loops all of a sudden and it was very disruptive. Maybe the singer came in the wrong place and that's why you had to cut it. In any case, there is a way in which you can sort of more gracefully go about it, and it involves automating the master channel, or any audio channel for that matter. And so I'm going to show you how I do that. First thing you're going to need to do is create a MIDI channel, and I have this sending to the IAC bus driver. Or the IC driver bus, however you want to say it. If you don't see this, that is okay. Just go to Audio MIDI Setup and make sure that the device is online. And as you can see, there's a little checkbox for that, and so that is where you will see that. So let's get into it here. Go ahead and start making a clip here, and we're going to choose a CC that we're not actually using. In this case, 22 seems to be favoring me right now. So we're going to go ahead and create some MIDI data here, some CC data, and we are going to go ahead and solo my voice and also solo this MIDI channel here, get this playing, and then we're going to go to our Minimap Mode and then select the master here. And this is where you would also select like also, some other channels, or maybe you have some returns that you want to also fade out as well. Anything you want to fade out, this is your chance to map it right here. So we'll be like, okay, cool. And as you can see, the master is dancing around to our MIDI data. Sweet. So now we're going to delete this MIDI data and we're going to create a nice even slope. Let's go ahead and turn looping off and then maybe, lengthen this out a little bit, because we don't want this to be too quick, right? So if we play it here, that'll probably be just about what we need. All right, we're gonna make sure that the global quantization for this is set to none. That's gonna be very important because we wanna be able to abandon ship right when we need to. We don't wanna have to wait a bar and then have this thing fade out, right? So global quantization, none. That means everything's gonna be instantaneous as soon as you trigger this, all right? Perfect. So we can go ahead and rename this, down, and then duplicate it, rename it up, and then just invert the slope here. So just grab those little nodes and, oh, well, that's not what I wanted to do, but okay, that should work. All right, perfect. So now we have basically this. Oh, one more thing. We are going to map this to our keyboard here. You can use any keys you want, but I like using the comma and period keys because they look like crescendos and diminuendos, so that's cool. All right, so let's pretend we're just kind of playing along here. Let's set this back to 0. Oh, that reminds me. You might want to make this 0 just because, keeping things at unity gain is kind of nice. I don't know. I prefer it. So, all right. Let's pretend we are playing our awesome tracks. And now watch what happens. Just like magic. It just faded all nice, and then bring it back up. One more time, down, and back up. Beautiful. Now you'll see that the back to arrangement button is still engaged here, so that has to be clicked every single time. So a workaround for that is just to map a MIDI note to that button. So go ahead and create a MIDI clip here, and we're just gonna draw in a note that we're not using. In this case, I think F-2 should work just fine. So go ahead and put that in. And again, we're going to solo this channel just so we don't have any extra things that are disrupting us right now as we map this to the button. Boom. As you can see, it is mapped. I also like to double check my mappings from time to time just to make sure that nothing is, double mapped or anything like that. So as you can see, F-2 is set to the back to arrangement button, which is perfect. So now what we're going to do is simply add that button in after our fades. So as you can see, beat 2 of measure 2 is where we can place our note. So go ahead and find our F-2. Here it is. All right, maybe here, something like that. I think that'll work. Yes. And now we can go to this clip and do the same thing. Find our F-2 and place it in here like so. All right, so now when we go back to the arrangement view and we are playing our awesome tunes again, like this, and then we want to fade down, look what happens. Magically, without even hitting anything, the button disappears, almost like magic. Then fade it up, and it goes away again. So this is something I found to be useful when doing loops live. It's definitely not ideal to have to cut the loops at all, of course, but this at least sort of, eases the landing a little bit. So anyway, hope you found that to be useful. If you want to subscribe to me, cool. If not, that's cool too. It's your life. Do what you want. All right. Peace out, y'all.